He created everything that we see and that we cannot see. So he wanted to manifest himself in the form of a man through Adam. And before God can fully manifest himself in Adam through the commandments and the words that Adam would receive from the Almighty Father, here comes Satan, Lucifer, the devil, went into the snake and tempted Adam through the woman that was given to him to disobey. And unfortunately, they disobeyed. And by disobedience, they lost the connection to God. They are still here. We still propagated. But it is Satan, Lucifer, the devil, who is now over and above man. He has captured man in captivity without man knowing it, because this is spiritual. And he made a God out of man when he said, "Thou shalt not surely die, but you will become gods like him." And so they became gods, a little gods like him. What does that mean? Being God to yourself means you can interpret good and evil according to you. It does not have to be according to God. When you lost that connection, then you become a God to yourself. And who instigated you to do that? Satan, Lucifer, the devil. He now becomes your father in the spirit, whether or not you know it. So, men propagated through Adam and Eve. They lost the connection with God. That's why they have no salvation. Because Satan, Lucifer, the devil, is surely going to hell in the last judgment. He is going to the lake of fire in the last judgment. As what the Word of God says in Jude, 1st and 2nd Peter, you see that they are now chained in darkness, waiting for the last judgment. That is where Satan, Lucifer, the devil, will go in the last days. While he is free, roaming here on this earth, he has disrupted God's plan for man. And God wanted to manifest himself in man, so that if that would have happened and the disobedience of man would have been aborted, or would have been canceled, if you may, if you can use this word, and if the disobedience did not happen, this world of ours, with 7 billion people in humanity, would be a paradise wherever you go. We are all brothers and sisters wherever you go. There will be no war. There will be no poverty. There will be no diseases. There will be no sicknesses. There will be no death. There will be nothing of what you see here on this planet Earth today. But it didn't happen because of disobedience. Man became a God to himself, propagated, each one a God to themselves. They grew up in power, holding all the resources that God has in their hands, but God is nowhere to be found, because we were cut off from our relationship with our Almighty Father. Unless we can go back to that relationship, there is no salvation at all, because man now is subject to the curse. And one of the curse is death. And when you die, your soul will go to hell if you are not saved. Why? Because it is the devil who is your father in the spirit. That's why there is a necessity for man to be able to come back to God and restore his own ownership of the world under the supreme law of the one who created him, the Father Almighty.